Hello and welcome Universe Mode. This is Smackdown Live. We are here for one of the most interesting shows of the week, as it always tends to be. Probably the best wrestling show of the week, but we are still here for it nonetheless. We are getting closer and closer to the Royal Rumble, where the rematch between Bobby Fish and CM Punk for the WWE Championship is set in stone after last week. And speaking of Bobby Fish himself, he will be opening up Smackdown here tonight by going one-on-one against Sami Zayn, a man who, of course, after his loss to CM Punk last week, was forced to watch Bobby Fish essentially beat down Punk in the middle of the ring, which was which wasn't the greatest thing that Zayn had ever had to watch, and was hardly something that deserved to be seen. But Fish beat him down, laid him out with his own belt, and is now on his way to the Royal Rumble to try and reclaim his third WWE Championship reign. Best of luck to him in that regards, and we'll see if he'll get any success with that at the Rumble. But as for tonight, I think he's going to have a great match with Sami Zayn. And then we focus on our main event, on what a main event it's going to be. For the #1 contendership for Kenny Omega's Intercontinental Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor will go one-on-one here tonight. It should be a very tough contest between these two men. Both got a lot they want, both got a lot to prove. Both want that victory more than anything else, and another opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship for Shinsuke Nakamura is something that he would crave. Can the King of Strong Style be on his way to a second Intercontinental Championship reign, or is Finn Balor going to get his meeting with Kenny Omega after they stared down to end off SmackDown Live last week? We'll find out. But speaking of Kenny Omega, I've been informed that SmackDown Live here tonight is going to start things off by hearing from the Intercontinental Champion. And here comes Omega towards the ring, the Intercontinental Champion, who closed out SmackDown Live last week, as I said, staring Finn Balor in the face. He's going to open it up this week, and I wonder what is on Omega's mind. For the first time in a little while, Omega not going to be in action as well, which I imagine is a breath of fresh air for him. But what is going in the mind of the cleaner right now? Why did he do what he did last week? Why did the Elite stare down Finn Balor last week? Before Kenny Omega talks about that, he has actually wanted to talk about Backlash, the first time he's had a chance to speak about his title defense. Everyone counted him out against Roman Reigns, and he proved everyone wrong. You never overlook the cleaner, and Backlash proved his point. Now, as for the future, as for the Royal Rumble, his eyes are set on that man who he stared down last week, Finn Balor. He doesn't know why Nakamura is in this #1 contenders match. He's beaten Nakamura before. He's settled business with him. Finn Balor, however, not so. Kenny Omega believes that in closing, Finn Balor is a great athlete. Finn Balor is a spectacular athlete, but he is not elite. He is not on the standards of Kenny Omega. And if he wants to go around getting main events on SmackDown Lives, left, right, and center, well, he better deserve it. And Kenny Omega at the Royal Rumble, he hopes to face Finn Balor and prove why Kenny Omega deserves his title run. Omega seeming a little bit interested with Finn Balor, but more, I think, on a match level than what he is on a personal level. Kenny Omega just wants to beat Finn Balor. And if Kenny Omega's front is about wanting a match with Finn Balor at the end of it all, I'm not complaining. I'll happily watch that match between those two men. That would be incredible. Imagine that one. Omega and Balor one-on-one. God, that would be something else to witness. I would love to see that, but maybe we will after tonight. It seems as if Kenny Omega has a bit of a front. It seems as if he definitely wants to see none other than Finn Balor walk out of that main event as the #1 contender. So certainly some interest going on there between those two. The Royal Rumble just under 2 weeks away. It seems as if we may have a last-minute addition to the card in that matchup. Kenny Omega was kind of keeping it silent until last week. And now, here tonight, we'll have that one decided at the Rumble. That'll make it, what? 8 matches at the Rumble, I think? 3 title matches from SmackDown, 2 from ECW, 2 from Raw, and the Rumble. 8 matches. Going to be a stacked night of action, that's for sure. And TakeOver the night before. Oh, San Antonio, I don't know how it's going to brace for what's going to hit it. But let's get ready to bring out this man, because I don't think we've seen him since that title hasn't been around his waist. That is a sight for sore eyes. A man almost looked like he has a bit of a pout coming towards the ring, does Bobby Fish. Paul Heyman in tow, and the man who will square off against CM Punk at the Royal Rumble is ready for tonight. And there is his shirt, of course, that sickening shirt. I'm a Paul Heyman guy. Never gets any easier to look at. But Bobby Fish certainly here tonight is not, hasn't got the thoughts of Paul Heyman, you know, isn't thinking too much about what would Paul Heyman do. I imagine Fish has gone into his stage much the same as it was when he was looking to get his WWE Championship back, where he went into a state of insanity almost, and he would attack anyone, anyway. And I think that is the same for Bobby Fish now. He has gone off the deep end a little bit. And that is what it's like when Bobby Fish doesn't have his title around his waist. He's fragile, I guess is the easiest way of putting it. He's weak. He craves that belt more than anything else. At the Royal Rumble, of course, he has a chance of recapturing it, and he made sure that CM Punk knew that the matchup was going to happen at the Rumble. Punk said anywhere, anytime, it didn't matter to him, just so long as he got to see it, just so long as he got that rematch. Well, after attacking him and laying him out last week, following his victory over Sami Zayn, Bobby Fish said the Royal Rumble, the time, the event where it all started for Bobby Fish. And of course, for the vast majority of you, to be fair, who don't know what that means, Bobby Fish at the Royal Rumble 2 years ago now captured his first singles gold under Paul Heyman, or his first singles gold in this universe as a whole, in the Intercontinental Championship. And that would mean that for the entirety of 2016, he would hold title gold. He would hold the Intercontinental Championship until vacating it in August, and then go on to win the WWE Championship in July. And of course began his iconic near 400-day title reign over Smackdown. He would lose it, of course, to Kyle O'Reilly at SummerSlam, and then win it back at No Way Out. And then, of course, lost it at Backlash. This second reign, much lesser, shall we say, than his first one. But right now against Sami Zayn, you are seeing the frustrations, almost the dirty laundry of Bobby Fish airing his... He is not a happy man after Backlash, that was for certain. And again, when is he ever usually a happy man? I'm not too sure. He always seems like he's got something to be angry about. But Bobby Fish has had so much happen in his career that I don't know how he can get angry. The longest reigning champion in the history of this universe. One of the only people in this universe to hold more than one title at the same time. WWE champion for more than a year. The most defenses of a champion. All of this goes to this one man. He beat the Bullet Club at Survivor Series, for crying out loud. All of this goes to him. And yet he's always got something to be upset about. It's ridiculous. Sami Zayn, however, someone who's not always got something to be upset about, excited about any opportunity, and will take any that are put before him. Blue Thunder Bomb there by Zayn. Imagine what it would mean for Zayn to pick up a win over the two-time WWE champion. It could well put Zayn in the title match, maybe. Zayn now in the corner. Hello for kick to Fish. No way is Sami Zayn about to beat Fish here. Can he finish it off one? There's two. And oh, Fish kicked out. Zayn thought he had him there. Fish is being busted open though by it. That says something. A blood pouring now from the head of Bobby Fish, sorry. And let's see what will happen here as this goes on. How will Fish adapt now to this? He's busted open. He's on the back end, on the back foot. He's got a lot he needs to do if he wants to win this matchup. Apologies for the yawn there. Counter there by Fish though to Sami Zayn, and he's trying a lot of things. Oh my god, look at that strength though by Fish. Pound for pound, one of the toughest guys there is out there, and that was proof of it. Fish now, capture suplex incoming. Here comes the incredible technical wrestling aspects that Bobby Fish brings to the table. As much as I hate this guy and as much as I will never respect him, I cannot deny that he is simply put an incredible wrestler. But look at that by Zayn there, using speed to his advantage. And a Michinoku driver to bring Fish down. Goes into the cover after it. A little bit of delay in between the cover and the count, but he still gets a solid 2 count there. Paul Heyman watching on the outside, and if I was Heyman, I'd be a little bit concerned. What we're going to see now from Sami Zayn. He's pacing around. He's almost getting a little bit fidgety now at the fact that he hasn't been able to put away Fish yet. And Fish makes him pay for giving him time to get back into it. The counter there by Fish. Looking for something there, and Zayn pulls out the reversal. Good on him for being able to do that. Counter back, though, by Fish. And they kind of just stuck his leg up at him there and just kicked him, essentially. Nothing technical about that one from Fish, but the atomic drop creates some separation between the two, and something that Fish could have in store here for Zayn. Brainbuster onto the knee. And it's the prelude to this, the slice of the throat, incoming for both Sami Zayn and, in a metaphorical sense, to CM Punk, the Fish Hook. A move that has finished so many people, including Sami Zayn. And it may well do the job here tonight. Cover on Zayn, and with 1, 2, 3, Bobby Fish just beat Sami Zayn there. Plain and simple. And that's what gives Fish such an advantage. No underhanded tactics, no backhanding, no cheating, no executing Paul Heyman to his advantage. It is all about... Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Come on, no, Fish. Fish, there's no need for this. Fish, you don't need to do this. Come on, man. Oh, he is, isn't he? Of course he is. This is a man who craves the attention being on him, craves the spotlight being on him and no one else. Sami Zayn right now is getting a receipt of that. This is the CM Punk. This is to put the message out there to everyone on Smackdown Live. This is Bobby Fish's show. Bobby Fish's championship. And at the Royal Rumble, Bobby Fish's night. He said this last week, and he's trying to make it seem apparent here tonight. Again to Zayn. Fish hook! No need for this actions by Fish, and this is what makes him such a disrespectful talent. Bobby Fish lays out CM Punk there. Sami Zayn there, and seems awful proud of himself for pulling it off as well. Bobby Fish is your winner to kick things off on Smackdown Live. Will this be the new WWE Champion coming out of the Royal Rumble? No offense, but I hope not. That is all I will say about that matter. Anyway, we're going to move on to our next contest. We saw last week Bayley become the #1 contender to the Smackdown Live Women's Championship by winning a 6-woman Battle Royal. Well, tonight, the champion will face one of the contenders in that Battle Royal, Naomi. Regardless of what happened last week to Naomi, this is a great chance for her here tonight against the Smackdown Live Women's Champion. The only women's match that'll be on the card at the Royal Rumble, but at least there's a women's match on the card. There's no tag match on the Royal Rumble at all. But regardless of that, we'll focus on this right now. Naomi comes out here. You know, ever since I guess as this series of universes kicked off, and Naomi's gone with this new look to her, and this kind of feel the glow vibe that she's got going on. It's been paying off. She's been able to make herself look a lot stronger in the ring. Her ability within the ring has got a lot better, and I think it's doing good stuff for her, obviously. And now tonight she gets an opportunity to prove how far she's come with a non-title match against the Smackdown Live Women's Champion Nikki Cross, and it feels like a breath of fresh air has been cast to the Smackdown Live Women's division under Nikki Cross. It has to be said. Winter now, we don't know where she is, and in its own way, I'm kind of happy about that, because no offense to Winter, you know, she was a dominant champion. She was absolutely destructive as the champion, but at the same time, one thing remained true. She was champion. She couldn't be beaten. She would overcome everyone. With Bobby Fish, he would have his days where he lost. He would have his times where he looked like where he, you know, where the unstoppable side to him looked like it could be beaten. But Winter was unstoppable from day one to the day she lost the title. And now with her out of the way, it's a new time. It's almost like a new boost of morale has come into the SmackDown Live Women's Division. All these people want to be out there. All these people want to be champion. And now they feel as if they have more of a chance of doing it than before. That's not disrespecting Nikki Cross. I'm not trying to say she's not, you know, she's not a deserving of that championship. She proved it on more than one occasion against Winter. But at the same time, it feels as if, you know, there's a new sheriff in town and everyone wants to be gung-ho towards her. And I like it. It's, you know, it's fun. It's lively. It adds vibe to this division. You know, you look at Raw and how even on, you know, under Paige, if you know, it felt the same, I guess you could say. The destruction of you know, the destruction of the Raw Women's Division. And even though Rosemary's the champion, it still feels much the same because of how dominant Rosemary has proven herself to be. And the Nikki Cross, however, she's only been on the main roster a month, you know. She only just got called up from NXT. I mean, she was a two-time NXT Women's Champions there, and she ran roughshod over that division. But there is still a lot we don't know about Nikki Cross. And to be fair, she's proven she can be defeated on more than one occasion. And I don't know. This just makes it so much more interesting for this division. But regardless of talking about Nikki Cross, of course, you know, Cross will be facing Bayley at the Royal Rumble, which should be an interesting contest. You know, two very polar opposites. You've got the happy-go-lucky styles of Nikki Cross. Sorry, definitely not of Nikki Cross. You've got the happy-go-lucky hugging lifestyle of Bayley against the dark, dreary, dingy almost atmosphere that Nikki Cross brings to the table. Naomi getting things off to a strong start though against the champion. They had a flurry of kicks, but it's quickly stopped, and Cross going after the legs now with a Boston Crab stitched in here. Naomi one crawling to the ropes, which can cause Cross to lose her grip a little bit, and then able to kick herself out of that one. This one now continues on. Great bulldog there by Naomi. Up to the second rope she goes here. Nikki Cross doesn't, I don't think she knows where she is right now, and she's sent down there by something. Didn't really look like she got all of it, but she certainly tried. And here come those kicks again now by Naomi, getting them all on the money, one after the other, and down she goes with it. Into the cover now, and not even a 1 count will be collected there for Naomi, but she is showing her ability right now against Cross, it has to be said. This was a match against Winter. You know, it could have been over by now. That was the kind of women's champion that Winter was. Oh, what a shoulder tackle there by Nikki Cross. You see how far Naomi flew from that one, and Cross now smashing her head into the turnbuckle as she waited there for her to get up to her feet. Shoulder tackle to Naomi, and now digging the boot into the throat. This is all stuff that Bayley's going to have to deal with at the Royal Rumble. This very unorthodox style that Nikki Cross uses. Look at her just smashing her head into Naomi's there to try and gain an advantage. She will do anything if it means gaining an advantage in this matchup. And here she goes now, calling Naomi up to her feet. What does Cross have in mind here? Looks for the drop kick and gets it. Got all of it as well. Naomi started well, but has now been on the back foot for some time here. Good counter there, though, by Naomi. Finally, she gets herself back up to her feet and has an opportunity here against Cross. Reverse DDT and drops her down. This is where Naomi now could be dangerous. This is where Naomi could prove that her time away, her time training to become better has paid off. And a huge upset could be on the cards. Went for the elbow drop and missed it. Cross was able to read it. And now here she has her end in mind. Take notes, Bayley, because this is who you're dealing with at the Royal Rumble. The unstoppable, currently SmackDown Live Women's Champion. Kick out at one there, but it's only just going to feel in to the suplex neck breaker by Nikki Cross. Here she goes, slapping herself on the face. Will Bayley feel this at the Rumble? We will find out, but Naomi feels it here tonight, and that will end things with 1, 2, and 3. Nikki Cross is your winner here tonight. Take note, Bailey. You may well have survived 5 other women in that battle royal last week, but you haven't survived one Nikki Cross yet. That is a whole different ball game, and when you're locked in the ring with her at the Royal Rumble, it may be tough to overcome someone like Nikki Cross. I think we're in for a good match at the Royal Rumble no matter what, but Nikki Cross is proving right now that no one can touch her and her SmackDown Live Women's Championship. Whether this will remain true, we'll find out at the Royal Rumble. Well, there we go. There's victory for Nikki Cross there. Bailey, I imagine, will be in action next week, and we'll see where things will go regarding that. But as for right now, coming up next, we have a triple threat match involving 3 teams currently locked around the WWE Tag Team Championship. And we will see them all, or at least a member of them, go head-to-head with the other here tonight. Coming up next, Hanson, Kota Ibushi, and Matt Jackson in a triple threat. Alright, well, it is time to get some explaining going on, because there is a bit that needs to be talked about in all fairness. So, over these last few weeks, the Young Bucks have been a bit on the back foot regarding their WWE Tag Team title reign. At Backlash, they had to get themselves disqualified to hold on to the titles against Sanity. Sanity have been promised a rematch next week for the WWE Tag Team titles. However, this all changed a little bit, and that was supposed to be it, cut and dry. This all changed a little bit last week when Future Shock beat War Machine, i.e. Kota Ibushi's team beat Hanson's team. They may not have beat the Tag Team Champions, but they beat the #1 contenders, who arguably could beat the WWE Tag Team Champions and already have a win over them in on pay-per-view, because they didn't take the titles away from them. So with that being said, the SmackDown committee came to the decision that instead of employing a Tag Team Turmoil-esque rule that we're seeing at NXT TakeOver, it is going to be done a little bit differently. Next week, War Machine will still get their Tag Team title match against the Young Bucks, no doubt about that. However, the week after, so i.e. the SmackDown Live after the Royal Rumble, the winner, the champions coming out of that week will face Future Shock for the SmackDown Live Tag Team titles, which should, in my mind, make it a little bit more interesting. There's no, you can't claim fatigue. You can't claim that they got lucky on the night. The idea is that you've got to defend your titles one week and then defend them the next. No doubt about it. This is going to be a very interesting way of doing things, I believe, and one that I think if the Young Bucks were able to walk out of proves that they are one of the best tag teams in the world today. Because they have to overcome War Machine, a team who currently they are completely looking like underdogs against. And then if they were able to overcome Future Shock, well, that would just kind of put all doubts aside as to whether or not they deserve those tag team title belts. That's for certain. But right now, we have a triple threat match to warm up for that next week. And here we see Kota Ibushi, a man who last week fought valiantly for his team against War Machine. And we see the man, of course, who in some part he beat last week in Hanson in the ring already. It is a very interesting time for the SmackDown Live Tag Team division, as it always is, to be fair. SmackDown Live Tag Team division always brewing with talent, always brewing with matches. And I think this will be a bit of an interesting one. Certainly, I think the odd one out in this one is Matt Jackson. I said a few weeks ago, I don't think it's fair to put the Young Bucks in tag team matches, given that they are not tag team in singles matches, given the fact that they are tag team wrestlers, not singles wrestlers. Ibushi, in Japan was a well-gifted singles athlete, a well-known singles athlete. Hanson in his own right, sure, he may be known more for War Machine than his singles career, but look at the man. I think he can handle himself in a singles match perfectly fine. No doubt about it, Whereas this man here, Matt Jackson, he doesn't get it as easy. He's got a bit, it's tougher for him. It's tougher for his brother Nick as well, who got laid out 2 weeks ago by Hanson in that matchup. Surprised the Young Bucks have got Pyro as well. That's certainly something interesting. And only for one of them as well. But As Matt Jackson heads towards the ring, he's got to realize that next week could be the last time he holds on to those WWE Tag Team titles, because they're facing War Machine up first, which makes things way more difficult, I believe, for the Young Bucks. You know, I don't think the fatigue argument can be claimed if they lost to Future Shock the week after, but at the same time, this, you know, they've got, I would say, the most difficult team first. The team who has the most of a grudge against them as well. The team who could have captured the belts at Backlash if not for the disqualification. There is bad blood between the Young Bucks and War Machine, and it will be settled next week. However, that man there and his tag team partner Ricochet are on the outskirts and are ready to try and win those tag team titles. Look at this. Matt Jackson right now just kind of flying around there with moves. That didn't really pan out the way he wanted it to. He also went after Kota Ibushi first, which makes absolutely no sense. If you were in a triple threat match with a guy like Hanson, even if you aren't a singles wrestler by default, logic would tell you, go after Hanson. Go after the big guy. And Matt Jackson just paid for it by taking a trip over the top rope, leaving Ibushi and Hanson here in the ring to go at it. This one, certainly a bit of an interesting one. Look at that, he just dropped him. The strength there of Hanson being shown right from the get-go. Ibushi though with a great counter and a Russian leg, and a reverse DDT to send Hanson down. We could well see allegiances we wouldn't see anywhere else, and we're seeing one right there with a double gutbuster to Hanson. But now it all kind of falls apart a little bit with Matt Jackson and Ibushi going after one another. Jackson up on the top rope, but Ibushi getting up to his feet. Oh, he ducked his head at the right time there, but not for that one. Big bicycle kick. And Matt Jackson is sent on his merry way. Meanwhile, back in the ring here. Oh, look at that. Look at that by Hanson there. Just the outright strength of this man. This is what makes him so dangerous to compete against. Especially when his tag team partner Raymond Rowe is added to the equation as well. Matt Jackson trying for something there, but just throwing away. Essentially like the cruiserweight that he is. Drop down there with a wasteland, and a senton splash will follow up. Bet Matt Jackson's happy he decided to get back in the ring. Ibushi going at him though. Ibushi knows what he's doing, you know, like I said, a traveled athlete. A shining star in Japan as well. And knows what he is doing within those ropes, either as a tag team or as a singles athlete. But Hanson is a little bit too much for him right now, and Matt Jackson is left alone with this man, much the same as his brother was 2 weeks ago. Huge uppercut there, and oh my god, ran through him there as if he were nothing. This is the Hanson that could be on his way to a tag team title in the next few weeks. This is the Hanson that wants to take those titles away from the Young Bucks. Counter there though by Matt Jackson. And Ibushi has made a beeline to going right after him there. Look at these kicks by Ibushi now in the turnbuckle. Jesus Christ. And a follow-up drop kick there to bring Hanson down. And that will mean that Jackson and Ibushi are going after each other here. That's a little bit of an interesting matchup. The first time in the match, it ain't revolving around Hanson. Let's see what Ibushi will do here. He's going to go up to the top rope. Hanson might want to get up to his feet very quickly. Phoenix splash by Ibushi. Cover on Jackson here. Will this get him the win for next week? It won't. Credit where credit's due. He kicked out at 2. Oh my god, everyone just went down from Hanson's hard elbow. Even the referee is down in this one right now. That speaks volumes about this man's strength. Death Valley driver there to Ibushi, and he has to roll outside of the ring. And here he goes again now, dropping down. Matt Jackson, and is looking to finish this one off, to put the final nail in the coffin that he will send the Young Bucks into next week. Hanson with a big sit-out powerbomb. Look at the impact as his head bounces off the mat there. Matt Jackson looks like he's done for. Ibushi slowly getting up to his feet here. Can he come in to make the save? Indeed he can. Well, he misses it. No, he doesn't. Okay. Big suplex neck breaker though, and Hanson rolls out of the ring. Ibushi follows suit. May well have been a regretful mistake. Clotheslined into the apron. And look at that. Hanson goes right back to where he started. Cover on Matt Jackson, who hasn't moved an inch. But he kicks out at 2. Went for the drop kick there. Matt Jackson able to get out of the way. And what are you doing, Matt Jackson? Yeah, you deserve that one, mate. Big time. Look at this now. Look at... I keep on losing my train of thought because I'm so overwhelmed by the strength that Hanson demonstrates. He just had both men down there like they were nothing. But Ibushi sends him way over the top rope. What a move there by this man. And he's going to look to try and get the win here. Looking to get the win with a move very similar to that of the one. Oh no, it's not. Look at this. Package powerbomb here. Drills him down. Into the cover goes Ibushi with 1, 2, and oh, Matt Jackson kicked out. That is what the ref is saying, so I guess I'll have to take him at his word there. Matt Jackson has been a whipping puppet essentially right now in this one. Up to the top rope goes Ibushi once again, and another Phoenix Splash will connect. Hanson, though, wants nothing to do with Ibushi. He can deal with him in 2 weeks' time when they face each other for the tag team titles in his mind. Right now, he's got Matt Jackson to finish off in the ring. Jackson in his own right, trying to save himself, and rolls out of the ring. Not too sure how much you're going to be able to get saved there, because Hanson is right on your tail. Brings him back in the ring here. Oh God, another big move is on its way. What's it going to be this time? It's another Death Valley driver. This time for Matt Jackson. Ibushi hesitant to get back into the ring there. And with good reason, as he's just launched across it and had to be sent and goes immediately back to the outside. Matt Jackson is trying to fight, but if I was Matt Jackson, I would think this one through tactically. Do I really want to waste myself? You know, do I really want to put all of my effort into this when I have a chance of retaining my tag team titles next week? It is something that Matt Jackson should consider, and he may not have anything left in it to fight on anyway. There's that black hole slam, covered by Hanson. There's 2, and there's not 3, as Ibushi makes the save. Oh, big boot there to deck Ibushi, and Hanson goes not back into the cover. I thought he was going to go into the cover, apparently not. And Matt Jackson there played possum in Zaguri. And look at this now, cover on Ibushi. Could Jackson steal one? Not going to happen. This one's slowed down a little bit now. Hanson getting up to his feet here. Just barely though. And a big bicycle kick sends Matt Jackson down and out of the ring as well. The tag champ now on the outside leaves Hanson alone with Ibushi. And look at this now, up in the air. The powerbomb on its way. Powerbomb there by Hanson. Can he pin Ibushi with it? There's 2. And oh no, Ibushi kicks out as well. Well, I'm not surprised that Ibushi kicked that. He hasn't exactly taken too much offense in this one. But the fact that Matt Jackson is still recovering on the outside is almost unbelievable. I do not know how that man is still standing. Ibushi dropped down there with that reverse suplex. Oh, yeah. No. Lifting reverse DDT. That's the one I was looking for. Matt Jackson hit with a hard punch there and... you know, just getting a flurry of moves that are not connecting. Very good. Matt Jackson looked for something ambitious there, and once again, the man putting the brakes on it is Hanson, and sending him well on his way there with that suplex. Ibushi still unable to recover right now in the ring, and look at this, it's the Ionian nerve grip. It's gone magma and all. Yes? What? I don't think I've ever seen anyone ever tap out to that one. Hanson just made someone tap out to a nerve grip. Incredible. Never seen anyone tap out to that until tonight, but Matt Jackson just did from the beating, the non-stop beating he sustained at the hands of Hanson. There is the man who his team has to now look the favourite heading into next week and the week after to take those WWE Tag Team titles and take them home as well to boot. Ibushi looked good, but the Young Bucks look dire. Like I said though, unfair to grade them by what they do in singles matches, but they have both taken beatings over these last few weeks. I would be surprised if they are near 100% heading into, if they're at 100% heading into next week's match. Raymond Rowe and Hanson, however, they look just fine. We'll see if that'll be the case next week. Future Shock will get the chance 2 weeks from then. 2 weeks from now. Should be at a very interesting saga for the SmackDown Live Tag Team division. But before I get ahead of myself, we're going to move on, because coming up next, Kevin Owens has a one-on-one match, but he hasn't revealed his opponent. Is that going to do anything? I don't know. We'll find out up next. Well, like I said, it's a bit of a mystery that Kevin Owens doesn't have an opponent here tonight, but he's still scheduled to be here. He's still going to be competing right now. Here comes this man. For the first time, I think we've seen him since Backlash when he beat Shinsuke Nakamura. And I imagine Kevin Owens can't be best pleased about that. Think about it. He went from beating Shinsuke Nakamura and, in some senses, arguably being the #1 contender to the WWE Championship, to now just kind of being here on SmackDown while Shinsuke Nakamura is in the main event up next. That can't settle that well with Kevin Owens. I mean, sure, I don't know why I said it was the first time since Backlash. It definitely hasn't been. Last week, Owens was beaten by Finn Balor, but I don't think that deters anything from Kevin Owens. At the end of the day, this man has a rampant streak going for him. Kyle O'Reilly is still out on the injury shelf because of this man, and Finn Balor only just returned to Backlash. Kevin Owens has an injury list going for him, and he is dangerous to SmackDown. And speaking of him, he's going to now take a microphone and have a few things to say. And Kevin Owens' first port of call in regards to making everyone wait is to talk about Shinsuke Nakamura himself. He brings up a fair point. He beat him at Backlash fair and square, yet Shinsuke Nakamura tonight gets an Intercontinental Championship opportunity and Kevin Owens gets nothing. That, in his mind, is bias. That, in his mind, is BS against the prize fighter. But Kevin Owens ain't gonna stop there. Kevin Owens now continuing to complain about SmackDown committee, saying that no one gets to know if they're going in the Rumble or not. No one gets to say they're going in it. Well, Kevin Owens doesn't really care about SmackDown. He cares about himself. So Kevin Owens, whether he's with SmackDown or not, is going to the Royal Rumble, and he's going after that 5th WWE Championship. There ain't a damn thing anyone can do about it. But as for tonight, Kevin Owens wants to prove how unstoppable he is. He wants to prove that no one can come close to him, and why he beat Shinsuke Nakamura as easy as he did at Backlash and is not being given the rewards for it. Tonight, in this ring, right now, Kevin Owens will face anyone and everyone. Whoever comes through that curtain first will face Kevin Owens. Feel the wrath of the prize fighter as he goes on his way to that 5th WWE Championship. And of course, it's almost no surprise that it would be this man. You call out an open challenge, you're gonna get the man who calls himself the heart of SmackDown coming the other side. CM Punk will gladly challenge Kevin Owens here tonight in this one, and it's almost no surprise that it is. The crowd are up to their feet here as the champion heads towards the ring, a week and a half away from defending his championship at the Royal Rumble against Bobby Fish. However, it is all smiles for CM Punk. He looks focused, he looks on the money, he looks ready to head into the Royal Rumble and head out of it still as the WWE Champion. Kevin Owens does not look best pleased on the outside, but here on SmackDown Live are the 2 most successful world champions of all time. 5-time world champion CM Punk, 4-time world champion Kevin Owens, going one-on-one right here, right now. This is incredible. We truly get to find out who the best world champion is right here in this one. This is going to be good. CM Punk looking ready. Kevin Owens looking ready. It may be impromptu, but it's just what Owens wanted. Let's get this big fight underway. With Zayn and Fish opening up tonight, with Nakamura and Balor later on. There are so many incredible matches here on this episode of SmackDown Live. This is almost like a pay-per-view being given away for free here. Oh, Punk looks ready to go in this one. Big step up in Zagiri there for Owens to endure. Punk heading out of the starting gates here, filled with fire, ready to go right to work. Lovely Falcon Arrow there, and Owens is on a bit of the back foot right now. He's the one who wanted this open challenge, and he's the one who's paying maybe for his own stupidity right now. Into the turnbuckle he goes. Punk in position here. Look at this. T-bone suplex into the turnbuckle. Love it. Oh, no. No. It's Fish. It's Fish. This can't be happening. Not now. Bobby Fish has come out here to distract the WWE Champion, and Owens will take full advantage. Owens from behind. Cover on Punk with 1, 2, and Kevin Owens just beat the WWE Champion. All because of that man on the outside, Bobby Fish. Absolute disgrace. This just had to happen, didn't it? Fish and Owens, of all people, working together. Two of the biggest scumbags on SmackDown work together to beat CM Punk. Oh, no, that ain't even something that you can even think about celebrating. That has left a bad taste in my mouth, that's for certain. Well, Kevin Owens and Bobby Fish were just in collusion. That is something that I never ever thought I wanted to see, and I never ever wanted to see. Put it as simply as I can there. But the fact still remains, through the distraction of Bobby Fish, Kevin Owens just beat the WWE Champion. But Kevin Owens has said he's on his way to the Royal Rumble, so there ain't going to be no championship opportunity on its way for him unless he overcomes everyone else in the Royal Rumble. But still, them two working together to try and demoralize CM Punk heading into the Rumble. I didn't think I'd be seeing that one. Anyway, I think we'll, I don't know, there's more I want to talk about. I mean, it's all good playing mental mind games, but it's Bobby Fish who's going to be feeling the wrath of it all when it comes to the Royal Rumble. And he's in the ring with CM Punk. And last time they were in the ring, yes, they shared it with a beast, and yes, it was no disqualification, but need I remind you that with him in the ring, when in the same ring as CM Punk, Bobby Fish tapped out to CM Punk to lose his WWE Championship. He didn't just, lose the belt by pinfall. He didn't just get Punk didn't get a lucky pin on him. He made him tap. He made him cry wolf. And that speaks the volumes itself. Bobby Fish heads into the Royal Rumble, trying to look as cocky and confident as ever, but he's frail, he's fragile. Without his title, he is less than the man that he has gone around being for some time. He is lesser than that. He is weak, and he knows that he is. So I think what makes this so interesting is when it comes to the Royal Rumble, and Bobby Fish has to put on this charade for one final night. CM Punk is going to be one pissed off man, and he's going to be a man who will do anything and everything to hold on to that title, to hold on to being the heart of SmackDown Live, and not let someone like Bobby Fish walk around with that title again. We'll find out what'll be the case to do with that at the Royal Rumble. But as for right now, we have this main event to focus on. Shinsuke Nakamura and Finn Balor one-on-one. The winner goes to the Royal Rumble to face Kenny Omega for the Intercontinental Championship. We heard Omega speaking earlier tonight saying that he would love to get his hands on Finn Balor. He's had his piece with Nakamura, and he would love to go through Finn Balor at the Royal Rumble. That is a pretty interesting statement from Omega. So it's Shinsuke Nakamura's chance to actually play spoiler on this whole thing and make it him and Omega in another matchup. They had a rematch at, what was the pay-per-view? Battleground, I believe. Yeah, Battleground. And it was Omega who walked out the winner of that night, still as the Intercontinental Champion, and now Nakamura has a chance here. And to go back to a point from the last match, I actually agree with what Kevin Owens said. It is unfair that he went from beating this man clean as a whistle on pay-per-view to this man getting an Intercontinental opportunity. It makes no sense. In my mind, to me, I don't think this match should be taking place. I think Finn Balor if Omega wanted to be the #1 contender, and if Finn Balor beat Kevin Owens, who beat Shinsuke Nakamura, he's the #1 contender. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I don't think anyone else, I don't think anyone else can come close to that. I don't think there is anyone right now on the SmackDown Live roster who should be contending against Finn Balor for this right. I would be very entertained to watch Balor versus Omega, because I don't think we've seen it before. But only the SmackDown committee want to do things a different way. Well, you know what? They usually put on the best wrestling show of the week, so I guess I can let it slide. And we are here for an incredible main event anyway. It's Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura here, one-on-one, in front of this hugely anticipated crowd. We may have had some shenanigans and some bit of cahoots going on with what just happened between Kevin Owens and Bobby Fish, but here tonight it'll be two men who just want to wrestle, two men who just want to be the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship, two men who just want to go out there and put on the best match they possibly can for the crowd and themselves. Finn Balor returned a Backlash to a big uproar as he took on Rusev. A massive cheer for Finn Balor on his return, and since then Finn Balor has exerted the demon that was Kevin Owens from his life, has got him away, has got his revenge for being placed on the injured shelf. All Finn Balor wanted was a win over Owens, and he got just what he wanted. And now Finn Balor's attention instead turns to the Intercontinental Championship. Shinsuke Nakamura getting a close eye on this, so close we're actually looking at it through the perspective of Shinsuke Nakamura's eyes. And look at the crowd here alongside Finn Balor. It may be safe to say that Balor is the favourite in this one, but the crowd was singing along to Shinsuke Nakamura's themes as they always do. So maybe, in fact no, it is a very split matchup. It is 50-50. Either man could take this one. Either man could be the #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship, but only one can be. And we're about to find out who that one is going to be. Finn Balor looks ready. Shinsuke Nakamura looks ready. Let's get this one underway here. Nakamura will start off on the collar and elbow tie-up. Got the grip on the arm and is able to transition into a relatively easy hammerlock there. And wrenches on the arm as well. Finn Balor defeated quite a bit there in that collar and elbow tie-up. So Finn Balor decides no more collar and elbow tie-up. Let's get right into the wrestling. But Shinsuke Nakamura is able to play around a little bit longer there. Counters out of that single underhook suplex, it looked like. It brings him into the corner. Big clothesline, and Finn Balor goes down. Nakamura, we've got two former world champions in this one. Two men who have had bad blood with each other a long time ago on Monday Night Raw, when Finn Balor was obsessed not only with Shinsuke Nakamura but the World Heavyweight Championship as well. And that was almost when the demon took over Finn Balor. Now that that is out of the way, Finn Balor has gone back to being a very well-respected and commended athlete. And we're seeing it here tonight. The crowd here, I believe, is split on this one. They don't know who they want to win it. But that is smart there by Finn Balor, focusing away from the crowd to go after the leg of Nakamura, try and take away the Kinshasa from him. It is a smart idea. Nakamura now, though, up on the second rope here. Something could be in store for Balor. He looks a little dazed. Nakamura flies with a big-time drop kick. He has to actually take a moment to roll outside of the ring as well to recover. How about that from Finn Balor there? But it's a big counter and a big drop kick there to send Nakamura down. Pace changes once again. Momentum changes once again in this matchup. Oh no, though only temporary, as Shinsuke Nakamura finds his way out of it. And incoming here, landslide, nails it on Balor and goes into the cover here right after. Good pinning predicament here, but Finn Balor kicks out early. Both men want to become #1 contender badly. Both men want that gold around their waist. Shinsuke Nakamura wants it around there again. Finn Balor, aside from the World Heavyweight Championship, hasn't held a title. But then again, he is a two-time world champion, so that kind of balances itself out. Finn Balor now, great strength, great power bomb. Now what will we see from Finn Balor? Going up to the second rope here. Shinsuke Nakamura in trouble maybe. No, he gets out of the way of it. Smart thinking there by Nakamura. Backstabber there to Finn Balor. The back that was systematically broken down by Kevin Owens with that apron powerbomb. And the neck as well. You know Shinsuke Nakamura is going to be honing in on them. And that's exactly what he's doing. Those knees into either the side of the head or the side of the neck of Finn Balor. Breaking it down and making it softer. If there is an exploited, if there's something that's exploited and you can pick apart, then you might as well do it. I know Finn Balor didn't have surgery, but he was still out for quite a while with that injury. He was, you know, if he had surgery, we probably wouldn't see him until after WrestleMania, but thankfully he didn't. He's still in the ring, but it's a question of whether or not he's 100%, and only Finn Balor can answer that one. Double knee gut buster there. And now Finn Balor calling to the crowd here to will him on. Nakamura up to his feet, but here comes Balor. Double forearms there. And he gets the sling blade as well. Look at the speed from Balor as he hit those moves. Went for the Irish whip into the turnbuckle. He was looking for the shotgun dropkick, and Shinsuke Nakamura knew it, and he stopped it in his tracks. Very smart indeed there by Nakamura. And here goes Nakamura, now going to bring him in. Exploder suplex there. Nakamura fired up, ready to go. That foot is anxious. It's ready to be drilled into Finn Balor. Oh no, he was looking for the Kinshasa and he mistimed the collision between the two. Kick in the gut. Kinshasa! Will it send Nakamura to the Royal Rumble? It won't. Rope break there. The foot of Finn Balor's in the rope, and Nakamura must be incredibly frustrated at that one. Into another cover he goes, and this time Balor kicks out at 2. Took too long was his main problem, and the fact that he didn't have him in the ropes first time round caused an issue. Finn Balor now somehow able to find a way to fight back after it. No way. Balor going up high here. Will he get it? Finn Balor. Coup de grace into Nakamura. Into the cover he goes. 1, 2, and oh, Nakamura kicks out as well. Wow. Wow, he was close. But Nakamura is the one to play spoiler here tonight. Great kick out there from Nakamura, and look at that by Balor. Stopped himself there. Genius. And Nakamura again looking to try to go to work with the legs. Didn't work, and there's a downward spiral. Finn Balor focused in the zone, ready here. Nakamura a little bit less of that as he tries to recover right now from what he just took from Finn Balor. Look at that, great counters there by both men. Incredible to witness. Finn Balor though, up in the fireman's carry, down with the Pele kick. Nakamura dazed. Great counter there by Finn Balor out of that back suplex, and now here he goes. Finn Balor's ticket to the Royal Rumble was about to get very close there, but Nakamura put a stop to it temporarily. Big forearm shot there. Nakamura now. Hard forearm strikes, and oh, Finn Balor busted open as a result of them. And now let's see what will happen here. Sends him into the turnbuckle. Oh my god, there's a lot of blood on Finn Balor's face. Balor sends Nakamura though into the turnbuckle. He's going to look for it, and will he get it? Finn Balor, the blood has driven him on you. Maybe the inside of the demon coming out. There's the shotgun drop kick. Bounces off the turnbuckle. Nakamura could be out of it here. Finn Balor rushes to the top rope, and he's going to go for it again to send him to Omega and the Rumble. Coup de grace. 1 didn't do it. Will 2 be enough? There's 2. There's 3. Finn Balor is your #1 contender to the Intercontinental Championship. And what a win there for Finn Balor over Nakamura. And oh no, there's Omega. Omega wasted little time in getting his hands on both men. Balor and Nakamura down at the wrath of the Intercontinental Champion, Kenny Omega. That's why he wanted Finn Balor to win, to give him a cheap shot after tonight. Both men are down here. Kenny Omega standing tall. The Cleaner will face Finn Balor at the Royal Rumble, and he's already sent a bit of mind games towards the challenger.